All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today we are riding in Jellicoe's whip. Shout out to Jellicoe.
Hey. How we doing, guys?
We're getting ready to go pick up my truck. My wife had to take my truck to work this morning because her vehicle has a nail in the tire. I gotta get that fixed today at some point. Folks, we're getting ready to go see Remy. We have not seen him since doing the test, and there's been a lot of crazy stuff that has happened since then. You guys already know everything about that in terms of comments and somewhat of what Remy was sharing with me about how he felt about that entire situation. But today, we're gonna go see Remy. We're gonna go talk with him, get an update with him, and hear what he really has to say as well in response to everything that has transpired since doing the test. We're also gonna potentially be doing a Q&A with Remy. I've posed on Instagram and Twitter, both joepguerrero. If anybody had any questions for Remy, we'll potentially be asking those in this video as well. But again, shout out to Jellicoe's Integra.
What up? Old Faithful.
Old Faithful, we're riding in style right now. Forgive the wind in the background, I'm sure you guys can hear that, but we are on our way to go see Remy. All right, hopefully you guys could hear the intro that we were filming to this when we were in Jellicoe's car. If not, then this is where the video starts from, but special shout out to Jellicoe.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Good morning.
Folks, we just made an excruciatingly long ride all the way out to the other side of Virginia, basically, to go see Remy. We haven't seen Remy since we did the test with him. There was a lot of controversy with that test, and we're getting ready to be pulling up to his place right now and getting his response to all of that, getting an update with him, and also possibly some sort of a Q&A as well. I posted on social media on Instagram and also, well, only on Instagram. I meant to do it on Twitter too. I didn't get a chance to. But I posted if you guys had any questions to ask Remy, that was where you guys could leave them at. And I'm gonna be curious to see what people have to say. And I'm gonna be even more curious to hear what Remy has to say in response to everything that's been taking place with him. So we're at Remy's right now. We're getting ready to go see him and hear what he has to say. So we just got here at Remy's. Well, Jellicoe's trying to get the camera stuff out of here. We just had a conversation with Remy before we started filming this. We're getting ready to go in and talk with Remy. This whole video potentially is going to be changing. There's a whole different direction that this is going to end up going, and this is very real. Look, you guys are going to be seeing, I don't even know what to say, but one thing about it, we're getting ready to talk with Remy, and Remy's got some things to definitely be sharing with us. Do me a favor and shut the door behind you. At least it feels good in here. You got the AC going. Remy, I want to say hello to you. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on, Joe?
Sorry to throw the camera on you like this, but
You're good. You're good. We're
look,
doing little dishes.
I appreciate you seeing us.
Yes, always. You know my house is always open to you.
We were filming before getting out here. We had a lot of things that we wanted to do. We're still going to do those things. I talked with you about that, getting your response to the last time that we saw you and the test that you took, and a lot of negativity that came from that, people thinking that you didn't take the test for real, that you added water to the test. I addressed that situation. You even went on Facebook and made a video addressing that situation. We're going to talk about that today.
Okay.
I want to give a special shout out to Jellicoe as well. This is kind of really neither here nor there, but it definitely deserves the credit. Shout out to Jellicoe and what he's wearing today. Some things that we got from the P.O. box recently.
Ryan and Donna, thank you very much.
Jellicoe, just real quick, give me your opinion and your assessment of, you know, the initial getting over here and talking with Remy.
Somebody needs help. We're here.
That is absolutely as real as it gets. Remy, I want to sit down with you. We're going to post up. We'll get everything set up, and we're going to have a conversation.
Okay.
Remy, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to meet with us again.
Anytime, Joe. You know, my door's always open to you guys.
We've been seeing you now, it seems almost about once a week. And it's been pretty crazy and pretty hectic with the last couple of times that we've seen you. But ultimately, I do appreciate you always being willing to rock with us.
Always.
And, you know, I appreciate you just still wanting to rock with us because, you know, after the test and the comments that came from that, I can imagine.
You know, a lot of the negativity that came out of that, as you can see, all I drink is water, man. I drink water and coffee. Sometimes I have a soda. Mostly water. I work outside, so I stay hydrated. Look, my pee isn't always yellow.
Well,
and I don't care about the negativity. I'm not going to let the negativity get me down. But at the same time, if you didn't got nothing nice to say, man, why even put your opinion out there?
I want to say this. You know, I have always respected your honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the videos we've done with you, we talked about your mouth. You know, you shared that with us. As funny as that may seem, you talked about that. And you talked about, before we even did the test, the fact that you had relapsed. Mm-hmm. You shared that with us.
Yeah.
I consider the things that you've shared with us, you have always just kept it real.
Yeah.
And today when we got over here to see you, you know, we had every intention of doing this, getting your response to some of what took place the last time, especially the negative comments. And I was also going to do a Q&A with you, ask you some certain questions that people had posed for you. We're going to save that for another time because there's more pressing matters. Right. And this speaks to the fact that you have always kept it real.
Yeah.
Remy, when we got over here today, we asked you off camera, you know, how you doing? Hey, Remy, what's going on? And you told us you're not doing very good.
No, right now I'm not. There's a lot of stuff going on in my private, personal life. And honestly, I really, really want to go use. I really do.
You want to go get high?
I do. I want to go get high. That's the only coping mechanism I know. And when I'm stressed out like this, it's usually what I run to. And I really, as you can see, man, I don't have many people to talk to.
You know, I want to tell you the exact same thing that I told you when you told us that when we pulled up, and that, again, was off camera. But I respect your bravery to share that that's what you're feeling like right now, mm-hmm. that you want to go use.
I do. I needed somebody to vent to. I needed somebody to talk to. I know I can talk to you, Angelico.
You know, I don't know how much of, or if any, we're able to share about what's going on with you right now. But in your own words, you know, tell us what the heck has been going on, as much as you're willing to talk about, that's got you.
I really don't want to delve into it because I don't need the negativity from the viewers, to be honest with you. But it involves my children and me not being able to see them, and it's just a totally foobarred situation. And it's gotten me to the point that I want to use. I don't have people that I talk to. When I get like this, I seclude myself from everybody. That's how I deal with it. I've even started to seclude myself from my own wife, which has been putting stress on our relationship. You know, she helps me through a lot, and she holds my hand through, you know, most of my crap that I put out. And, you know, she's a real trooper, but you know, we're both dealing with this situation right now because it involves our children, and it's very stressful for the both of us.
You know, I'm not going to press you to share any of what you've already shared with me, Angelico, when we got over here. We know what's taking place, and I'm going to tell y'all, it's a very messed up situation.
It is. And it's a situation that could have been avoided had I known what was really going on. If I'd have known that was going on, it never would have happened. But circumstances prevailed that I didn't know what was going on until it was too late. And when I finally found out everything that was going on, I was extremely upset. And
it was too late at that point.
Now it's all about damage control. And yeah, I could have prevented this had I known what was really going on.
You think about people who go to prison, you think about coming home and trying to do the right thing, and everybody deals with their own demons and their own obstacles and struggles, and addiction is just a huge one that a lot of people deal with. You especially, you deal with mm-hmm. this. You share this with us. You know, you had been working, you had been doing good with your wife and your life. Mm-hmm. You had slipped. You admitted to us that you had relapsed.
Yeah, I had relapsed, and I went and got help for it. I'm currently in treatment for it. But the last 2 weeks have been so stressful, and I've been so depressed, I haven't worked.
You haven't worked in 2 weeks.
I haven't worked in 2 weeks.
Did you lose your job? Are you fired?
No, I didn't. I didn't lose my job, and I'm not fired. He gave me vacation time and told me to get my head together and come back when I'm straight. My boss knows what's going on. He's very involved with the situation. He's been supportive in it, but at the same time, it's not somebody that I can talk to about my problems because he, does his own thing.
He's your boss.
He's my boss, but he does his own thing, and I can't call him when I need to. Somebody to talk to. Hey, man, I'm getting ready to go do something stupid.
Well, what I was going with, or the thought that I was trying to get to was, you could be doing so well and then something happens, whether it's minor or whether it's major. And unfortunately, in Remy's case, this is a very major thing that's taken place.
It is.
And this could absolutely make you slip, fall, and just fall right back into the crap that you've been trying to avoid and to get beyond. I want to ask you this question. I want you to be truthful with me when I ask this, but when we come over here, you tell us that you want to go use. Mm-hmm. Have you used?
No, I have not.
When was the last time that you've used?
The last time that I used was when I relapsed. I've been on medication. I take Suboxone.
But you're prescribed to that?
I'm prescribed to that, and I take it like I'm supposed to take it. The way the doctor recommends me to take it. So, and that's what I do. I'm not using any other substance at this particular time, but I really like to.
I just ask you, Remy, to think about this. Think about what good would come if you did go out there and use it.
I know, and I've thought about this. I've been thinking about it all morning, and that's why I brought it up to you when you got out of the truck.
I want to tell the viewers, just as I have told to you, and I will tell you again, when Remy said that he wanted to go use, this was not a pity party. This was not a time for me to be like, oh, I'm sorry. This was a time for me to really try to put a foot up your ass, proverbially, if that's metaphorically, and say, Remy, you need to get your head up out of your ass, and you need to think about what's going to really happen if you go use, because it's not.
Well, that's what I needed to hear, and that's why I approached the situation the way I did.
There's a lot of other stipulating factors to everything that we haven't really been able to share with you. The biggest thing that you guys need to know is Remy's dealing with some very messed up family stuff. It's a horrible situation. It's almost like it is what it is, and it's a situation that puts you in a frame of mind to basically just say F it. Mm-hmm. And you've mentioned that using is your method of coping, but ultimately
you gotta understand, Joe. That's been my method of coping for 22 years. I've never learned any other coping skill, and it's new for me to ask for help. I don't like asking for help. It's, that I'm not the kind of person, I'm usually do things for myself. I'm self-reliant. I've always done for myself. I make my own money. I pay my own bills, but I need some help.
Well, I want to share with everybody what we had talked about, and that was, the way that I feel, Jellicoe feels this as well. Jellicoe was a big part of this conversation that we had when we got here. And I feel, I may not even be right about this, but I think the biggest thing that we could do to help you and that you could do to help yourself is, Remy, you got to get out of this area.
Yes, I do. And me and my wife have been talking about that, and I think that is the road that we're going to go down, is getting out of here. I got to get out of the lease, which might cost me a little bit of money. I don't know. I have to talk to the guy that owns the place. And
the only reason I say that you need to get out of here, and this was, a thought that I think everybody agrees on, me, you, and Jellicoe, your wife agrees with this as well, is, you left Virginia Beach to come to this city because you wanted to have some separation between your old area and, people, places, and things, basically. Yeah. But you come out here.
I walked into a bee's nest, and I didn't realize it until it was too late. Here. I didn't know that, what was going on internally as far as the family is concerned. I didn't know. I wasn't aware. Nobody ever told me. And, everybody's got their own dark secrets. Everybody's got the skeletons in their closet they don't want nobody to know about. Well, addiction is one of those skeletons that people struggle with. Unfortunately, somebody else's addiction got in the way of our lives. And it's causing us to have to jump through hoops that we should not have to jump through.
You know, you left Virginia Beach to come here to get away from the people, places, and things because there were negative people, places, and things out there for you. However, on the flip side of the coin, there's also the positive people, places, and things out
You're right.
there, which is why we've come to the thought, we've come to the, I guess, agreement, maybe that's not even the right way to word this, but we've all come to the same like-minded thought that, if you come back out there, you'll be closer to the support system, which is me, Angelico, and your dad. You mentioned that you were worried about where you would live at, and you said that, there's the potential that you could go back and stay with your father temporarily.
It would have to be temporary because of his living situation. I'd have to find work immediately.
And that was another concern that you had, was work. And, one thing that we haven't even had a chance to share is there was a guy who reached out to us a week ago. Wasn't it a week ago, the guy Billy?
Billy, yeah.
A guy, you don't know him, we've never even had a chance to introduce him, but there's a lot of things that take place on After Prison Show off camera. And a guy named Billy reached out to us. He needed work. Jellicoe made a phone call. The next day, the guy was at work. So when it comes to work, that I want to try to reassure you in any way that I can that we will definitely help you find work and find it fast.
Yeah, that's my biggest worry, is not getting a job that will support me and my family.
Well, work will be something that we can definitely help you with. If you and your wife were able to go back to your father's and stay there temporarily, we talked about, see if you can stay there for 2 months. And within that time frame, we will work to figure something out for a good, stable place for you to be able to be at.
That's what I need.
For you to be able to live at with your wife, and also to be close to the home base of operation for After Prison Show. We don't, look, I don't say these things with a cape on my back like I got the answers and I can save your life, Remy, but I do know that we can put you around the right type of people and keep you in a situation where if you are struggling, you're not an hour plus away from us, where we might not be able to make it out here. If you're back around the local area, there's just so much more that we could do in an effort to help you and to honestly help you help yourself.
I'm not asking for a handout. I'm asking, just be there for me if I need you.
Look, I want to say that, for you sharing what you've shared, the fact that you do want to go and use, that takes bravery to share that on this video where comments are going to come. There will be those negative comments. I ask you to try to look beyond those negative comments.
I do, every time. Every time I see a negative comment, I look beyond it. I don't let other people's opinion affect my self-worth, if that makes sense. Like I've always said and I've stuck to, the only people's opinions that matter are my wife's and my kids. Those are the only people's opinions I care about. I don't care what people think of me. I look at you, Angelico, as friends. People that I can talk to and open up to about my problems. That's why I approached the subject with you.
Well, I'm honored that you did, and I'm hopeful that in some kind of a way we're able to help you, because the last thing that I want to see is you go back to using. Yeah. You said that you struggled with this for 22 years, and where has that ever landed you?
Prison, the streets, and almost dead.
Look, I want to bring this up. Angelico just brought up a really good point, and that is, with this being on your mind right now, how do you prevent yourself from using? Like, is it preventable? Is it?
It is preventable, and that's why I said something. It's been on my mind all morning.
But what gives? I don't even need the reassurance, because regardless, an individual is going to do what an individual is going to do. But I do want to feel like, when we leave here, we're not leaving you in a situation that's going to just ultimately lead to you going out there.
Well, I know I have one of my IOP classes this afternoon at 3:15. It's a 3-hour class. So I have that. That is a safe haven for me. I can go there and I can share and I can open up.
Well, this is what I want to do, and this is, it may even seem mundane, but this is the best that I've got for the moment being. And that is that once we do wrap this up with you today, and we're leaving and we're gone, I want you to check in with us today, especially. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was bringing it up for, man. Because the reservations that come in people's mind, I still have them. People have them, and then there's just a point where you're about to take the first step. You know what I'm saying? This meeting is awesome. It's an awesome standpoint. We're here. It's 12:30. By the time we're out here, it's 1 o'clock. He's got 2 hours. He's going to a meeting that he has to be to. He said he's got good people, so that's good to get his frame of mind. He's becoming aware of the surrounding situations that'll make him.
I'm trying to do different. I'm trying to do go against the grain of what I know. You know, everything that I know for the past 22 years is, you know, getting high. When I feel like this, go get high. I've never asked and come out and told somebody, hey man, you know, I feel like I'm going to use. And I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, and part of turning over that new leaf is asking for help and telling people how I'm feeling at that time.
You know, what prevents you from going and using? Like, I know you're feeling this way now, but you've shared with us that you're having these thoughts, and by you doing that, that is a definite sign that you want help, that you don't want to go back down.
No, I don't want to go back down that road, because I know one is never enough and 1,000, or one's too many and 1,000's never enough. You know, and I know if I start, I'm not going to be able to stop. I don't want to start. I've been good about not starting. I've been good about taking my medication the way I'm supposed to. You know, I've been actively seeking treatment, but everything that's going on, like I said, I'm so stressed out.
Well, this is what I want you to do. And I've got no real idea of what could actually help and what could actually 100% guarantee that you don't relapse. But this is what I want to do. You got your meeting at 3:30 today, or 3 o'clock today. It's a 3-hour meeting. You know, I want you to be in contact with us today. We will be in contact with you as well. You know, and answer that damn phone.
Yeah.
Because if, you know, we can't get in contact with you, then that ultimately would be like a sign that, you know, there is the potential that you've gone and done something that you know you don't need to do.
Right, I know.
But let's move a little bit in a different direction, and this is where I want to go. I want to go with some positive stuff, because we're talking about a lot of doom and gloom right here, okay?
Yeah.
The good news is you haven't used.
Not yet. And I don't want to use. That's the whole point. That's why I came at you the way I did.
But I want you to think about the good that you have right now. You've been home from prison for how long now?
Let's see, I got out April 29th, and about 3 months.
So, you know, you think about it, if you go use today, what month is it? It's June, July,
July.
right?
July, yeah.
If you go use today, there's a good potential you could be back in prison by, what, football season?
Yeah.
You could be back in, and I say that in almost like a sarcastic type of a way, but I really want you to think about that. You know, you've done time, you've been homeless, you've been strung out and addicted with nothing. And look at what you have right now, Remy. You've got this place. Granted, it's not the greatest place in terms of toxicity,
right.
You know, being a toxic environment. You've got the support of your wife, the love and support of your wife. You know, you've got your children to think about as well.
Yes, and that's you know, a really good motivating factor for me. I don't want to permanently lose my children. You know, I gave up rights to my oldest son 10 years ago, and that was probably the dumbest thing I ever did.
Remy, there's so much to look at with the glass half full. Granted, you're dealing with a super negative and just bad situation right now. That's not your fault at all. You know, this is not your fault.
No.
You just didn't you didn't know. And you didn't find out until it was too late, but it's not unrepairable. What
Right.
will be unrepairable, or at least will take just so much longer to even attempt to repair, is if, you know, you go out there and you use, and that just leads, like you said, one's too many and 1,000's never enough. It just leads to you full blown back out there. Because think
I
about
know
it.
I know that's what will happen. I know me, and I know what I'm capable of, and I know that I can't say no to it once I stop.
You know, I want to ask you this. Since we got over here, and immediately once we got here, you told us you weren't doing good. You told us that you wanted to go use. By even speaking that, by even talking to somebody about it, does it help at all?
It does. It relieves the anxiety about it. You know, I've been holding it in all morning, and I don't know, it eats at you slowly from the inside until you can't stand it no more. And that's when you snap and you go and you buy that first bag of dope.
We're going to maintain contact with you today. You're going to go to your meeting at 3 o'clock today. And by the end of this week, I hope you'll be ready to come back around the area and get a change of pace, a change of scenery, and another fresh start. You know, because you came out here with the hopes and the intentions that things were going to be better, and unfortunately they just haven't been.
No, the last couple of weeks have been real bad.
We will help you with work. We will work toward getting you some stability in terms of a place to stay. And we will help you in any possible way that we can. We'll come back out here. We'll pick everything up for you. We'll pick you and your wife up. We'll bring you back to your dad's. We'll do anything that we got to do to help you.
All right.
But I ain't going to do none of this unless you give this 110% of yourself to do everything in your damn power to continue to view that glass as half full and to fight like hell, you know, on this course that you're on to stay clean and sober.
Right.
Because you're not wrong for wanting to go use. I'm not going to ever sit here and say, you know, Remy, what? You're not wrong for that at all. You're a person who has struggled. You're a person who has admitted that you've struggled. And you're a person who still continues to struggle like so many other people.
It's difficult, trust me. It's difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I fight those demons every day, and they're just lately, with everything going on, they're starting to get the best of me. And that's why I'm reaching out and asking, you know, I know you're sober, I know he's sober. I can ask somebody sober, hey, look, man, this is what I'm going through. I need help.
Like I said, I'm prepared, and After Prison Show is prepared in any way to help you. And we've mentioned just a few things that we can and we will do.
Okay.
So long as, because this is a deal. This is a deal, and I'm asking you to make this deal with me just as an added incentive to give yourself a little bit more reason to fight that temptation. I ask you to make this deal with me to do everything that you have to do and to continue to fight the urge and stay on the right track. Don't use. Like, I mean, that just sounds silly for me to say that because I know it's easier
It's easier said than done. It really is.
Do everything you got to do, man, to keep your head out of your ass and to keep on the course that you've been on since your last relapse.
Yeah.
And we're going to be here to do anything and everything we got to do to help you stay the course.
All right.
Look, I've done a lot of talking in this. You've shared a lot of things, but Jellicoe really knows you from prison. Jellicoe has a really good bond and friendship with you. And I want to allow Jellicoe, I'm gonna switch seats. I want Jellicoe to sit right here and I want him to talk with you because, you know, I don't feel like I'm doing justice just trying to handle this on my own.
Right.
What's that saying, as silly as it is? It takes a village, something along those lines?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're getting at. But
You know, because I know Jellicoe's been sitting in the background listening to a lot of things that I'm saying,
Right.
and I'm sure he's got some things that he wants to say to you as well. So I want to allow him to talk with you, and you talk with him as well. And look, switch seats with me, Jellicoe.
the Army has helped me out in many, many ways. Just like, you know, on my phone, I have 16, 17 people right now on my messenger that are dealing with addiction. 16 days clean, some people just not getting clean. I know you very well. I know where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
I know addiction a lot more than people think. Are you going to use?
I'm not going to.
Generally,
I'm not. I
mean,
don't want to use, and that's why I'm asking. You know, I need help, and if I can prevent myself, or if my wife can prevent me from going out and copping that first bag, I'll be okay.
I know, but generally, my reservations last way before the here and now. You know, even if you beat this today or tomorrow, are you going to use?
No, I'm going to continue doing what I'm prescribed, and that's it.
One of the things, I go to meetings. I used to go a lot more than I do now. But I've realized one thing that, you know, some of them sayings that they say, I don't get I just don't get it, you know. But one of the things that always stick out to me is one day at a time, you know. And I believe if you can wake up each day and think you're going to do something on a positive level or be clean for that day, you know, that you're going to make it.
Right.
People usually have they call it a drug of choice.
Mm-hmm.
I call it, it's not the drug of choice, it's a drug that destroy our lives. There's one particular drug, there's thousands of drugs out there someone can do, but you're aware of this one particular drug that destroys your life, right? me too. I have one particular drug that destroys my life. And though I'm around other drugs, they don't bother me. But one particular drug is one I know I can't be around. And has it been your drug of choice? Is it accessible and in your eyes every day?
It's not accessible and in my eyes every day, but it's not that hard to go out there and find it if I want it.
Yeah, that's the thing. So okay, that's what I was getting at. Because some people in certain circumstances, all they have to do is walk in another room, walk down the street. I'm just saying, from my experience, if something happens, when you know you have to pick up the phone and you got to dial that number and you got to go to that 7-Eleven or go to that neighborhood, I just ask. See, each person has a time in their mind where they have a decision to make right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Inevitably, no matter if you're robbing a bank or a car's passing by, you always get a couple seconds, maybe 1 second, you know. And I just ask that you think, you know, and you have to realize what you have, you know. Every day, addiction is difficult, and I want to use every day, you know. Some people are like, oh my gosh, you know, but I'm telling you, you might not be an addict or have a full understanding of what it means. I have to talk myself out of getting high one way or another every single day. You have to work for what you have, and it's hard, you know.
It is.
You know, to keep what you have. You know, people think it's real easy once you get it. No, once you get it, you have to keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten this car, but man, I have to bust my butt just to keep it.
Yeah.
Between the gas, you know, my everyday expenses are $30. It doesn't seem like much between cigarettes, gas, and food. But
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it adds up.
if you're only working and you're only making $80 a day, you know, what's $50? You know, not that I make, you know what I'm saying, but
I was about to say, Joe, you need to clean that up real quick.
But I'm saying though, you have everything's an expense, so it gets harder. Though, you know, Rabbit said it before, you know, on another video, you know, there's a struggle every day, and you have to fight every day. The thing is, the fight just gets easier, you know. And I just, man, bro, I love you, man. I talked to you, the late night phone calls the other night at 1:30. Me and my girl's like, Remy, here, take this. Yeah, I was like, hang on one second. I called you back, you didn't answer. You know, I didn't know. You know, that's the thing, and I didn't even know. You know, I didn't know, but you know, you never know what people are going through, bro. And I love you, man. And we are here, and that's the crazy thing. I go through a lot, but it helps me more that I'm helping people between this phone and the phone. Oh my gosh. There's just so much, and the thing is, the APS Army can help you. There's so many, man, in the area that we are in, there is a mecca of resources, man. I keep stuff, man. Like I said, the guy who called the other day, man, $20 an hour, man. I got him the next day. He went to work the next day. He called me. He was at work the next day, $20 an hour, man. I told the guy, buddy, he's doing great. You gotta want it, you know. You gotta want success, and it's unfamiliar territory. You know, and
no,
I
it
get
is,
that.
and it's
I
very
get that.
unfamiliar for me.
You know, and you just don't know. You're like, what do I do? You know, what do I do now? Like, I don't even know what to do with idle time. If it wasn't for Messenger or Facebook all the time, man, for real, I mean, I spent an hour and a half on the phone responding to messages, piddling. Now I'm on Craigslist and offer. I mean, you know, that's my idle time now. You know?
Right.
And there's 4 places in the area that we are that have meetings 4 times a day. There's one at 7, 9, 11, no 5, 7 and 9 o'clock. You know, I go to certain meetings. I go to a certain meeting because I don't like going to other meetings because there's more relapse in other meetings than others. You know, I can cherry pick certain meetings, and that's how I found my way, man. And you just, it's never easy, man. And you just gotta have a level head, and that's what I found. You know, I hang around people in addiction every day. I got a best friend. I go see him. He puts a needle in his arm. He's got warrants. You know, he carries a weapon. So when they go to get him, that's neither here or there. But I'm just saying,
to avoid that. I don't want to be that guy.
You know what I'm saying, though? That's what it gets to.
I've been that guy, I don't want to be that guy no more.
You might be at a cat, or you might be at a dub, but it won't be long before you're at a bundle, or you know what I'm saying, 16. You know what you get. You see what I'm saying?
I know exactly
what you're saying.
Once you're
there, there's no turning back.
And that's what I want to avoid.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, that's
for
what I'm
help.
saying, man. It's not the call after you used. It's the call that before you use that's important. And I love the fact that you've done this. I mean, it's scary because everything we do is on film, But I mean, that's what makes a difference in your life, because you have people that help, and there's people that are dealing with this every single day, man. Every single day, every hour of the day. This is real, you know. So you just, you know, I get all, you know,
Yeah,
but
like
it's
I
just
said,
the way
man,
it
this
is, man. Because
this
you
is
can
all
lose
new
everything.
territory for me. It's all new for me, and I'm trying to do things opposite of what I've always done.
Yeah,
And
it's tough.
The
man.
opposite for me is to reach out and tell somebody how I'm feeling and asking for help.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
what
And
I'm
that's
doing.
the thing, man. And that's the thing. And I hate that. Even in meetings or wherever, I don't know these people. I don't want to hug you. I don't know you, but they're there.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not asking for a hug or nothing. I'm just asking for somebody
but
to
you know what I'm saying though. But I'm saying there are people that are there. That's their you know, that's their way of showing that they love. But you know, bro, I mean, we're here and we have ways to not ways, but we have an understanding of what works and are willing to help.
And that's why I'm reaching out to you guys and I'm asking, please, you know, I need some help. I can't do this by myself.
I want to give you a hug, bro. But you said,
Thank you, man. I love you, Jelly.
I love you, bro.
All right, I want to thank Jellico for sharing and talking with Remy. We're going to go with this camera right here, and we're getting ready to wrap this up with Remy right now. And, you know, honestly, I don't even know how to wrap this up. You think that you got the answers. I think that I got the answers sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to help people, and we try to do that. But what do you do in a situation like this? You know, I'm sure there's going to be people who comment and say, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, but put yourself in our shoes right here, right now. Ain't nothing about this fake. This is as real as it gets. We came over here to do an entirely different video, the response to the drug test that we did with Remy, and also a Q&A from Instagram that we didn't even get a chance to get to. And Remy shares with us that he's struggling and that he needs help. You know, you've said that multiple times in this video. Mm-hmm. What can we do to help? Have we in any way helped? I want to ask that. You have.
You've given me an outlet that I can vent to. You've given me something to look forward to. It's a multitude of things. But at the end of the day, it's somebody sober that I can talk to, that understands where I'm coming from and what I'm dealing with.
You know, Remy, we're going to wrap this up. You've shared a lot with us today, and I greatly appreciate your honesty, mm-hmm. your humbleness to do so, and the bravery it took to admit that you're struggling and that you feel like, you know, you could relapse. Mm-hmm. As we wrap this up, I usually ask, is there anything that people want to say in conclusion to all of this? But I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to ask that you look at this damn camera and you just talk to yourself, because you're going to be the person who looks back at this. You're going to be the most important person to look back at this, and I want you to keep this in mind as well. There are going to be people who see this video who deal with the same thing that you deal with. You already have people who reach out to you on Facebook, who offer support, or who could potentially relate to you. So I want you to look at this damn camera and I want you to speak to yourself and tell yourself anything that you want to say.
I mean, if I'm looking in a mirror and I'm talking to myself, the one thing that I'm going to tell myself is, you know you're better than that. You know right from wrong, and you know when you need to ask for help. You know that you're struggling with an addiction, and you know that you can't do it on your own. So you need to reach out to the people that are trying to help, the people that are there for you. You know, don't be afraid to ask for help. It sounds stupid that your pride gets in the way, but you can't do it by yourself, man. You need the help, and people are willing to help you, so you should extend your hand and let them, you know, do what they can for you. You're not by yourself. You're not going to do this alone. There are people out there that want to help you, and you should accept their help.
Do you feel at all any better than when we first got here?
Yes, I do. I'm not going to say I feel 100% better, but I know that I'll be able to make it from here to my class. I know that I'll be able to make it through my class and get back home without using.
Well, what about tonight?
I'll stay on the phone 24/7 with you if I have to.
And what about tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to take my medication, and I'm going to take it one day at a time.
Keep in mind everything that we talked about in terms of, you know, the opportunities and the options that you have, Remy. You aren't alone. Mm-hmm. You know, even if it's only Jellicoe and I, that's all you need. But you've got the support of anybody who takes the time to watch this video and to really take heed to the things that you've shared with us. You know, there's a lot of people who are rooting for you.
I know.
And
I
you've
hear
got your father,
from them every day.
You've got your wife, you've got your children. These people need you in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And you've spent 22 years doing it the wrong way. I want to wrap this up and say that, you know, I think today you proved that you are willing to try to do it a different way. And the first sign of that is the fact that, you know, you have reached out and said that you need help.
Well, if I've learned one thing in 22 years, it's that my way doesn't work. So it's time to try something new. And I need somebody to show me that new road, because I don't know that road.
We're going to be here for you, brother.
Thank you.
I greatly appreciate you sharing what you've shared with us today, and we will definitely be staying in contact with you.
Appreciate it, Joe. I really do.